Hey, what's up? Welcome to Not Another Business Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Zachary, and you are now tuned in to episode 10. As always, just a quick thank you to everyone who's been supporting the podcast so far, everyone who has provided feedback, everyone who has helped out, FX Kadash, of course, and my wonderful guest, Chardlie, for joining me on this podcast. This is definitely something great for everyone to hear, so I hope you enjoy it. Again, my name is Zach Zachary, and you're now tuned in to Not Another Business Podcast. This is episode 10. If it scares you, do it anyways.
Hello,
Hey,
how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
I don't know, I'm nervous.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Damn, that means I didn't do my job right.
No, you know what it is? I don't like talking about myself, surprisingly enough.
You and I both, and look where we are now. I'm sitting there. I'm a whole podcaster sitting behind a microphone every time and telling people about my life experience. So,
I'm proud of you.
oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, look at that. Now I can't focus because now I'm all like, I feel.
You've stepped out of your comfort zone, so I'm very proud.
You know what? Shout out to you too, because we've talked about it and you kind of, nudged me in the right direction. So I appreciate that. Without deflecting, because I do this as soon as I get a compliment, all of a sudden I'm like, well, thank you for all the help you've ever given me since I was a little baby. Yeah, like, think about that one time. You remember that one time when I was like, 2 years old and then you picked me up and was like, good job. It's just deflecting,
Right.
But shout out to you for sure, for real, because this is why we're having this episode right now, because you're doing some amazing things.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, and I can't wait to get for you to share your story and share everything that you do with the people. So before I go in any further, welcome to Not Another Business Podcast. Introduce yourself and let the people know who you are, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you for having me on the Infamous podcast. So
big things
big things happening. I'm happy to be here. I feel a little special, but anyway.
Ooh, you are special. You are special. You are a special guest. I will be sure to put that in the title too, with special guest.
Special guest, capital.
Yeah, exactly.
So who am I? So my name is Chardlie Pierre. I am a permanent makeup artist in Long Island, New York. I specialize in permanent makeup and helping women feel beautiful in their skin. I'm also a licensed esthetician. I am a mother, a wife, a daughter, a friend. I'm everything in one. And yeah, that's basically it.
Nice. I'm gonna before. I think I sent you a list of kind of like some bullet points, and there was one thing that I felt like needed to be talked about as well. So I'm gonna start with that, and then we're gonna go over the rest of the other stuff. You said you do permanent makeup, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's this concept out there that I don't know if you've seen some of these videos where women will post a video and be like, I can't believe guys are trying to talk to me and while looking like this, and then they'll show themselves like hair messy and then face all bland and
Right.
with pajama on or something like that, looking quote unquote bummy.
Right.
And then I've seen some guys would reply and say, do y'all not understand that men do not like all these makeup stuff and everything? So talk to me about like what does it mean to actually like for a woman to get their makeup done and look pretty and look their best? From your point of view, especially being in the field and actually like helping these women. So
Right.
can you talk about that a little bit, especially for the guys that feel like, oh, makeup is bad. Like, why women wear all these makeup and stuff like that? Like, can you really explain what that means?
I mean, guys will probably feel how they feel. I don't feel like women necessarily do it for guys because personally, are you like one that's against makeup and that whole shebang?
I have no problem with it. I think with
I was distracted too. I started asking you questions, so let me stop.
listen, I think if society did not have some kind of like rules and everything like that, everybody would be wearing makeup. Guys would be walking around
Right.
there and actually making sure their face look a little more, sharp and everything. Like I think everybody would be doing it, but due to society norms, it's one of those things
Right.
where only women wear makeup, only women wear wigs and heels and all that kind of stuff. But for me, I'm just like, I don't care. Like, if that makes you feel good about yourself, and if you feel good about it, and you look good with it, hey,
Wow.
I'm game.
So that's where I stand. So I'm a firm believer in like look good, feel good, because I personally, so I've been in the beauty industry for years. I've always been appealed with the beauty industry. I've always been into makeup. I used to be a makeup artist. Then I've been a lash artist. Then I've been a few things in the beauty industry. So I've always been an advocate of you look good, you feel good, you look good, you look good, you feel good. So I personally suffered from seasonal depression. We're getting deep early.
Mm-hmm.
So I've suffered from seasonal depression. So I find myself that sometimes when I'm home and I'm in my bed, I'm depressed. I don't want to go anywhere. I look crappy. Some days I just get up and say, listen, do your hair, do your makeup. And I feel an energy shift. I feel better about myself. And I know a lot of women go through that also. And just doing your hair, doing your nails, certain things make you feel good inside. So I think the beauty industry as a whole is so big on helping women feel their best. So, because when you feel your best, you go out there and do your best, and you're able to, I feel like, better provide to society when you feel your best.
Yeah, that makes sense. And for all the guys out there, think about when you go out, when you're feeling a little down, you go out. You get a nice haircut. You get your beard looking nice. You get a nice lineup.
Because y'all don't know how to act after a haircut, huh?
And then after that, you drive around the whole city acting like you needed to buy something. You go home, you buy a gallon of milk when you already had 2 from the last time.
How we feel.
So think of I for all the guys, think about that.
Right.
So like I said, and I've never had any problems with it, and I just feel like it was something that more and more nowadays, like people or women are very independent in that sense, where they no longer think about what other people are going to say about that, right? I've seen the term now, like people who have their face beat going into the supermarket. And it's just like, people wake up some days and they just throw on their camera and then they beat their face up every single day. Hell, half of the time, women learn how to do makeup by going on YouTube and just watching other people doing that. And then next thing you know, they're starting to do the same thing. So I figured this was something to get out of the way, first thing.
Right.
So you already started to talk about how the step you took to get to this point, right? Being a permanent makeup artist. Is that what your official title? I might have missed that in your introduction.
Yes.
Licensed
That's my specialty.
esthetician.
I'm also a licensed esthetician, which I don't really offer the services. But my specialty is permanent makeup, which you need to be a tattoo artist actually to be doing. So I am a licensed tattoo artist, and I
No
tattoo.
way.
Right, right. So
But
So
obviously, you're not offering that as a
no,
service.
no. But in order to do permanent makeup, which is something more permanent,
Hmm.
you need to be fully licensed to actually know how to tattoo and skin layers and all that good stuff.
That's so dope. I just learned something new.
Right.
Wow, that's crazy. So you started as just kind of doing your own makeup,
Right. So
and
I
then
started selling makeup. So I used to have a retail job. I used to be a salesperson for makeup and skincare. That's when I started really getting into the whole makeup thing.
where were you working
So,
around that time?
so I used to work for. I had a few jobs. So I used to work at Sephora and I moved to Walgreens when they started launching their beauty programs, and they wanted beauty. They started paying beauty advisors, they call them,
Hmm.
more to go into their stores and actually help sell their drugstore makeup that they call it. So I started with that. That's when I really took interest in the makeup industry because I was doing my research and I was like, okay, it's a lot of money. Women spend a lot of money on looking good and feeling good.
Mm.
So
Uh,
a lot of money. So let's not even get into it. Women spend a
I
lot of money. Let me rephrase for the ladies that are not listening. Women spend a lot of money in the beauty
I think
industry.
they still gonna act like they didn't hear you.
For those who didn't hear me, we spend a lot of money on looking good. So upon doing my research, and it's such a vast industry from skincare to makeup to permanent makeup. It's so like to nails and hair. Like it's so much within the beauty industry itself that there's so many ways to make money in this industry, and that's why I'm so in love with this industry. So yeah, I was selling makeup and I was killing it, and I'm like, so why am I spending so much effort selling someone else's brand?
were
And
you, were,
I was
were you overselling the
I
makeup?
was
Like giving,
overselling.
were you giving
I
the
was
ladies all kinds of like confident boosters and
I
everything?
was upselling, overselling. Listen, I used to be always top three in my district because I'm very competitive person. Anyways, like I'm
Okay
always
then. Okay then.
so. I'm like, so one day I was looking at the sales that I had to make every month, and I'm like, I'm making these people like 30K a month, and I'm barely taking home anything. So I started doing my research. This is when I started freelancing makeup. So we weren't even allowed to do this, but I used to give clients my card. Listen, if you need makeup outside of here, hit me up.
I
So
hope they're
I've been.
not hearing you right now because they might come back and say, "Hey,
Listen, I already left, so.
they might have you
So
under contract. Like, hey, we can sue you or something after 10 years."
listen, I got nothing. Listen, so I used to, yeah, it wasn't even allowed, but I used to give out my cards. I made business cards, freelance makeup artist, build me a makeup kit, learn makeup from YouTube. By the way, I wasn't even licensed,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going to people's houses and doing makeup, and I realized I did not like the whole traveling aspect of it, walking around with a chair with a kid. I didn't like it, so I wanted to be more stable and doing something stable in a private location. So I decided to take a lash course. I took the course. I was I was still searching. I knew that I loved the beauty industry, but I was still searching for what it was that I wanted to do that I loved doing and great income also because I love me some money too.
Of course. Of
So
course. Via Gary.
and nobody. So I'm like, okay, makeup is cool, but it's like, and then I did lashes. Lashes was cool too. It was very consistent, which I love. And I got me a location. And it became very tedious. For the girls who do lashes out there, it's a very tedious job. It's not no easy job. It's not for the weak.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was taking me 2.5 hours to do some sets. Working all day, my back used to hurt, my shoulders used to hurt. So I scrolling through Instagram. I personally used to get I penciled in my brows almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I was looking for brow. I'm going into the whole makeup thing.
Can you
So,
actually highlight what that means exactly? And that might traumatize some of the guys listening to this. But can you talk about what penciling is?
but the brow pencil.
Yeah.
So penciling your brows. I just used to wake up and pencil in my brows to feel better, do a light makeup. So I did not bit my face every day, but I felt like I have no brows. I needed something.
Yeah.
So I used to pencil in my brows. However, I saw this technique on Instagram saying that you can like do your brows and they last 2 to 3 years, which is what I do now. I'm
Mm.
like, what? So I looked into it. It was like $400-500 to get my brows done. But mind you, it was worth it because it will last me 2 3
2 3
years and
years.
not have to pencil in my brows anymore.
Right, which a lot of time, and sometimes you'd have to go get it done, and
And it takes forever.
yeah.
Forever. So I looked into that. I'm like, okay, so I was interested in getting the service done. So I had this lady who was very popular in Atlanta, and she was coming to New York. So I saved my money and I said, I'm going to get my brows done by her. But then I thought about it a little more. I'm like, wait, she also teaches, and I can get $500 per person coming in my chair to do this service.
Natural born hustler right there.
So I'm like, wait, instead of getting my brows done, how about I take the class? Because, so I saved some more money and I spent almost like, $3,000 that day to get my brows done and take the class. And I did both in one day. I did not care. And I went to the city. It was like almost a week class. I took my class. And actually, right after that, funny enough, I had my whole plan laid out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that I had to go to Haiti. So
Yeah.
I have my models like laid out. So I took the course and I flew back to Haiti like 2 weeks after. And I was just practicing and doing my models. I came back in the States and I looked for a place because when I want to do something, I just do it. Because the more I think about it, I will not do it. So I found a place. I was not even able to afford the rent of the place, but I'm like, I don't care because I want my $500 per person.
Mm-hmm.
So I signed a lease for a studio, and yeah, I've been doing that since then, and I absolutely love what I do actually. So
Wow, that's
my story.
one thing I can say. Like for me, a lot of times I would think about doing something, and it's almost like I'm waiting to it's almost like I'm thinking it's just excitement, like I'm just interested based on like what I'm doing at the moment.
Right.
And then if I keep thinking about it, if I keep thinking and talking about it, then I know it's like, okay, you know what, I need to get this done because clearly it's
Right.
living rent free in my mind.
You need to that.
Yeah, but of course, like, I still face insecurities in that sense because now I'm like thinking, well, okay, now you want to do it. Is it doable? Should you do it? Like I start asking all these ridiculous questions, and the next thing you know, 3 years later, I'm still thinking about it.
Nah, me, I jump in. I
Head
jump in the
first.
water. Like, wait, I can't even swim. So, like, what am I doing? So, I learned how to swim in the water. That's the type of person I am. So,
that's hey, I'm gonna try to be more like you now.
listen,
Or at least I'm already trying to
I'm
do
in
that.
the water now. We might as well swim. It's
There you
go.
Yeah. And I don't think you said that in the introduction. You are from Haiti.
Right.
And you came here in 2010, right? Also?
Was it? Yeah. Right after the earthquake.
After the earthquake, yeah. So we have that in common. We went to the same school in Haiti as well.
Yes, we did.
We were beefing. We were beefing back. That's story for another episode. Story for another
Let's not
day.
get into that one.
Yeah. So you came from Haiti after the earthquake, and I tell people all the time, when you come here at that age and you come into this country you are basically reborn, right?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
it's a new person. No matter what you were doing back home, no matter how life was for you back home, when you come here, it's a different situation.
Yeah,
So
that's the way to put it. Yep.
and 100%, I can hear the same story. Like I can hear some of the hustle and all that kind of stuff. Like you've described all of it in your story because you came here and you're like, what else can go wrong? Like,
Where is the money?
exactly. And not only that,
Right.
you're like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Like,
Exactly. Going back home because I have no choice. I have to go back home if I don't make it. So
exactly. And
we
this is the
have to
land
make
of
it.
this is the land of opportunity. It's like
We
you
have
came
to
out
make
here and you're like, wait, y'all got access to all of these things?
Right.
Shoot, like I'm going for it. So
Full force.
that's really dope that you went about it that way. And what's the name of your business? For everyone?
Chardlie Beauty. Chardlie Beauty.
Chardlie Beauty in Long Island.
Yes.
I've seen all your posts on Instagram, and every single time I see them, I get inspired. I
No,
get inspired, and because I'm like, I know her.
I went to school with her.
I went to school with her. Like I can't wait till like your business
Right.
blow up, and then I can post under your comment like, "That's my friend."
I would be like, "You friend? What friend?" Yes.
So, talk about, and the purpose of this podcast is not to just highlight the great things that happens, right? The
Right.
wins, because I've noticed that a lot of people online, or a lot of these gurus and influencers love talking about, I woke up one day, got my LLC, started doing business, and then I'm a millionaire now. It's like, oh, okay, well.
No, you got to put the infamous 6-figure.
Yeah, well, and now I'm a 6-figure, businessman.
I'm a 6-figure business earner.
And then
right.
they're like, that's all it takes. All it takes is just going out there. It costs like $2,500 to start so and so. Like, so no one likes to talk about the behind the scene struggle in managing your schedule and all of that. No one likes to talk about that. So that's where I come in and I say, you know what? I found a niche, right? I found a little something that no one is doing. And I said, hey, I'm going to do it. So
Right.
talk to me about I think you've highlighted your major wins at this point, right? I don't know if you
Right.
wanted to highlight anything in particular, just so we can get that out of the way.
Right.
Okay, so go ahead.
So losses. I mean, I'm still taking L's still these days. Business is.
That's business for you.
That's business. We'll never stop taking these L's. So I honestly have taken more losses than wins, but the wins are so major, and the wins are like what you work towards, that it kind of suppresses all your losses. If that makes sense.
Okay. What are some of the losses, or like what are some of the things that could go wrong in becoming? You could actually start with. Actually, you did talk about some of the losses in terms of being a makeup artist, right? Like hauling a bunch of stuff and traveling and everything. So that's out of the picture. I think you did also talk about working in the store, which was you're sitting there making people $30K a month, and then you're just going home with chump change.
Right.
So what's some things that can go wrong in owning your business, as well as what's something that can go wrong in actually doing permanent makeup on somebody? Because like imagine if you permanently damage someone's eyebrows. So I can't unsee it now. I can't unsee it. I just.
So, actually, this is why anyone out there who wants to do permanent makeup, I would highly recommend spending some money in good training, because this is something that's permanent. And and practice before you actually go and do an actual person. Go ahead and practice. That's the advice.
So you're saying don't do like you did. Don't just get up one day and be like, all right, I got it. Now I'm just going to go find me a place.
I'm such a jumper, So my thing was, I got this. I've been doing makeup. How hard can it be,
Yeah.
you actually have to use a needle on skin. I don't know if you know that. So it's an actual tattoo. The only difference with permanent makeup, let me not get too technical, but the only difference with permanent makeup and actually tattooing someone is you staying on top of the skin, the layers that you tattooing on. So what makes it semi-permanent is because we're tattooing on the first layer, it makes it fade over time. So as your skin cell renews, as the woman go through their skin renewal, the skin sheds and it kind of disappears over time. That's what makes it different from a tattoo. The tattoo, the only difference is you go a little deeper and you have a tattoo. So you have to be very, very careful in how you handle your pressure and your machine and all of that good stuff. So with that being said, so major losses. So you said in business for yourself. I feel like a major thing that I did wrong in my business was not handling my finances properly. It was kind of like,
That's
okay,
a big one.
yeah, it was like make some money, spend some money, make some money, spend some money, and I'm like, where is my money going? That was a major, like I had to sit down. I'm still struggling with that, to be quite honest with you guys. Some days I make some money and I'm like, okay, where did it go?
Mm-hmm.
I have to be better at properly doing my finance sheets, making sure I have my expenses, my things I have to buy, my bills, and see how much I'm actually taking home every year so I can properly calculate my profit margins and how I'm progressing every year. So I'm very, very bad at that. I'm the type to pay all my bills and I'm like, okay, whatever is left, let me blow it up.
Because we're gonna make it again tomorrow or next week.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, you know, $400 or $500 a client.
I go to the store like, okay, this is 2 clients, let's get it. So,
That's
you know,
that's lit.
but I have to be better at saving and actually seeing my numbers and understanding my numbers. I'm very bad at that. That's a major, major thing that can really cripple your business. Another thing that I will say is being more, I think customer service. Since I'm in the service-based industry, we go through a lot of different personalities, I will say. We have to learn to handle people the right way and not to take things personal.
Good thing you're from Haiti. Good thing you're Haitian, because I feel like coming here from Haiti or coming here from, you know, a different country, usually you have to be, you know, develop multiple personalities to deal with some of the things that you're gonna go through in this life. So,
but I do know that also there's a lot of business owners that are from the States that they don't understand that the customers sometimes, yes, they are wrong, but you are a business owner and you have to try your best to make sure that they leave your space happy, because we are one review away from one Instagram review away from shutting down your business. So
one complaint away, or you know, your one bad eyebrow out there, you know, from your business completely going to crapper. So
yeah. So especially being in this business, I had to understand, listen, this is a learning curve. Like a customer is not happy, I have to see it from their perspective and say, okay, what can I do wrong? If I need to completely give them their money back, hey, it is what it is. Even though I know that I did a great job. Not that it happened to me that way, but I'm saying in general, you have to learn how to just satisfy your client and do your best to learn from it instead of taking it personal. I feel like sometimes we take things so personal that we don't learn from what we're supposed to learn from it. Right.
Yeah, that hurts a lot of people in business in general, and even in their career, within your career in general. You know, you do have to understand that you're gonna run into these things. You're gonna run into people that are rude, people that feel like they're entitled, people that feel like because they're paying you, they own you. You're gonna run into these type of things, so therefore you have to be ready for it. You have to. Unfortunately, you can't be too ready, because you know, that's just not how life works. So you do have to go head first, and then.
But expect it. So especially in the service industry, you have to expect that not every day you will have a completely satisfied client. And
The service
and be
industry
okay.
is
Right,
funny
it's
like
rough.
that.
Right, it's rough. You have to sometimes put your big girl pants on and not take it personal. I
Mm-hmm.
had to learn that, and but also you have so many great clients and so many great stories that it kind of balances out, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's good to hear. And the other thing too we're going to talk about is your schedule, right? What are your hours right now?
So
Like your business hours?
I switch my hours a lot. So the good thing about being in my industry is I am able to work my schedule around my life, which is a thing. However, I feel like, a lot of people have regular schedules that makes it harder. But anyways, I personally choose the days that I want to work. I make my schedule monthly, like month to month, if that makes sense. So if I decide to work 3-4 days, so I can work 3-4 days and still make my income and be able to be home with my son and my husband and be able to do what I need to do. So that's the big part of why I love this industry. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned your family too, because I really wanted to also point that out, because that is also another thing that people don't talk about, right? They don't talk about the fact that being in business can actually a lot of times can cost you your family.
Ooh.
Right, going into business can literally cost you your family. Now, some of us sit there and we think, whoa, that doesn't make sense. That person wasn't, for you or whatever. Like if this person doesn't support you, it is a lot more complicated than that.
Yes.
Because when you decide, like for example, you decided I'm just gonna go and find somewhere to lease and start, get into business, right? That's something that actually, before we get into that, during this process, at which point did you end up getting married and becoming a mother? At which point?
So I used to freelance when I got married, and thank God, knock on wood, that my husband is like one of the most supportive person ever. Whatever.
Clap it up, y'all. Clap it up.
Thank God, because
I said that like I was in like a live event. That was crazy. Like I don't know. Clap it up, y'all. Clap it up, y'all.
Right, because I am way too impulsive for an insecure or anything that unsupportive men, because one thing about me, I'm gonna get up tomorrow and do what I gotta do. So he's been very, very, very supportive when it comes to my business. If I tell him, listen, babe, we have to move all this stuff to a new place tomorrow, he's gonna complain, but he's gonna show up. So I'm very grateful for that. And he's also a good he's a hands-on dad. So the days that I have to work late, he'll pick up our son. If I have to go in early, he'll make sure he stays with. So he's very, very supportive in that sense. So I don't know. I honestly don't know how I will have made it work with an unsupportive man. I really don't know. Like, I truly understand how people don't make it, because if your partner is not supportive of you and the things you have to do, it's not going to work.
Because there's also something called ego. And I'm sure he, if he felt some sort of like insecurity, or if he had a big ego, or if he was following the society norms, he would have been like, well, what do you mean you're gonna be gone all day? Like I'm home with the kid, blah blah blah. Like, he would have felt all kinds of ways. And there's a lot of them out there, people who just, because it's not them starting the business and doing all these things and building something, to them they feel like that's them coming up short. And then now the insecurities start rolling in. Now they feel like you no longer want them, or now they feel like they gotta get up to par, or they gotta get up to your level, because they feel like you're leaving them behind.
Right.
if this is you listening, stop doing that. You know, you got to trust in your lady.
Or sis, if he's not supporting you, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, exactly. And if he's not supporting you, you need to let him go. I will say that. You need to let him go.
You gotta go. Or you're gonna be choosing him or your business. And
yeah, exactly. Because
one
thing we know in this world, at any moment, you know, he might get up and leave. So when he leaves now, you know, now you don't have him in the business. That's a double loss. That's a double loss.
Double homicide.
You know, and life is short nowadays. Next thing you know, he dies. Now you done lost him in your business.
Oh my God, yes.
That's a double loss.
I'm super grateful. I'm super grateful. However, I have to also compromise because being a business owner, I know you can relate. My brain doesn't stop. And I really had to find ways to literally learn to find ways to meditate to be able to shut my brain down, because I'm very always like business. How can I do this? So when I come home, sometimes I come home, my computer's open, my notepad is open, I'm scrolling to the gram, and I'm not really paying attention to my family. Sometimes I had to realize, okay, you have to put this computer down. You have to be present. You have to be intentional with the way that you spend time with your family, because I had to realize, listen, I am grateful to be able to have a family that's so supportive, but if I'm not spending time with them and showing them that support in return, that's very selfish of me. So I do feel like sometimes business owners, they like, oh, business is hard, I have to focus, but you can at least program yourself like a weekend of that week, 2 days of that week, that when you come home, you're like, listen, I will focus on my family. I will be more present and be more intentional, especially if you have a child, because you're not there yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah, because having a child is a full-time job. Well, actually, it's a full-time job, because there's like what 268 hours in the week or something like that. So that
24. So yeah, sounds about right. 24
times 7. 168. Sorry.
That's 168.
Yeah, 168.
Message me up.
I was just testing you. You know, I was just making sure you were paying attention.
I got you.
Okay. All right. Cool. So yeah, and that is the part about the part that can actually cost you your family. You know, because when you get home and when you're out and you're handling business, you, as bad as it sounds, you can't handle any distraction, and family is a distraction in that sense. Right. So you're gonna have to make a decision every single day you wake up. You're gonna have to make a decision. And like you said, you're gonna have to compromise at some days, because it can't be business. Even if you have a supportive husband or a supportive wife, it can't always be about business.
Because once they start being neglected,
exactly. Someday you're gonna have to wake up and actually put an effort in and actually create some time to nurture that family that is so supportive of you.
Right. And especially when I have a young son. He's only like 2 years. He's
so cute, by the way.
Thank you so much. So he's 2 years old. He's turning 3 in January. And
oh my God,
it goes by so quick. Like it's not. I know a lot of people say it, but it goes by so quick. So sometimes I have to slow myself down when I'm spending time with him, and say, listen, he's growing up, and all these milestones are not coming back. So I have to actually enjoy him while he's small and while he wants to spend time with mommy. Because soon enough, it won't be no...
He's going to find you repulsive. He's going to find you annoying. He's going to find you just nagging all the time.
Exactly. So sometimes I have to slow myself down and say, listen, I am super grateful to be in the space that I am, that I have a supportive family, a son that adores me. I have to enjoy it and take it in sometimes and put aside the work. And I feel like a lot of business owners don't understand how to separate themselves from the business. I had to learn that. I'm still learning that. You are not your business.
That's heavy, because talk about that, because there's a lot of influencers, gurus out there talking about, you gotta understand, you are your business. So talk about that.
Right. You are your business in terms of personal brand. You represent your business. Your business is your brand. However, you as you the self person, you yourself have to learn how to separate yourself from the business self. And sometimes it's very tricky because you also are your business self. So sometimes when you get out there, you're so busy and working. When you get home, you don't know how to detach that, like that on the go business owner, and be a wife self, like a mom self, I don't know, just being yourself. Literally, you feel like you have to be always that boss, that boss lady or that boss on the move. Like, you have to learn with yourself, or it's going to, I don't know.
Yeah, now that makes sense. And it's also important too, because you still have to take care of yourself, and you mentioned that you still have to take care of your mental health.
Yes.
So you have yourself, you have your child, you have your husband, you have your business, and obviously you have your family, your extended family, and you have your friends.
Your friends,
because you still got to be social. You still got to. Technically, you don't have to be social, but you still have to socialize.
You kind of have
us humans,
it's a big part of your mental health. Like, we are humans, we are born to be with other people. Like, human in solitary will die. So you kind of have to be with other people. But I do feel as if we have to learn how to separate. I know it's hard because your business is literally your baby too. But even sometimes, even your own child, sometimes you have to spend time away from that child to be able to fill yourself up and give to them. So if you're always emptying yourself into your business, how are you filling yourself up? You have to put time aside, and I don't know, you have to find things that makes you. And I feel like I'm a better creative, I'm a better business owner when I'm my happy self. When I'm my creative self.
Yeah.
Right.
How was the transition from being a mom to having your own location and your own business? Did that happen beforehand, or did you have your son then you got into business?
So I took the course while I was I feel like, will I just gave birth? Yeah, I just gave birth. So I will be in permanent business for like about 2 years around. So I took it like pregnant, and I was managing being a mother and a business owner at the same time. It was very, very hard. Mind you, during a pandemic.
Oh my God. I forgot to even mention that too.
Oh my God. I'm insane, you guys. Like,
listen,
listen, but if you gotta do it, just do it.
Yeah.
I need to have a Nike sponsorship. Like, I'm a just do it type of girl. So I was managing, owning a business right in the pandemic, when I was truly learning how to really hustle in the bra industry. Most people were scared to get their brows done. I had to go out there and hustle, and I had to come home and still be a mother. It was very, very challenging, honestly. But yeah, it was challenging. And the first year in business, I don't know if they didn't tell you, but that first year is rough. And imagine doing it while everybody's home, being scared, and now getting used to leaving the home. So I had to literally advertise my business in a way where a woman felt safe enough to come in.
Yeah, and because
right.
It's what they say, panoramic outside.
Hey,
It's a
listen,
whole
people were
pandemic
scared to come
outside,
get
and
their
then you're
nails
sitting
done.
there with a whole location telling people, "Hey, come to my
Come
store."
get your brows done. And my face will be on your face while I'm doing your brows. Don't
Right,
worry about it, though.
right.
Don't worry about
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
it. So I had to come, yeah, I used to get tested all the time because I have a brand new child at home. Um, Thank God for my husband's family too. They're very supportive. So I literally used to have my son at grandma's house all the time.
Mm-mm.
I'm super, super thankful for family members and all my friends who were supportive and sending me text messages, like, because I literally, it takes a village, and I now understand what it means to, it takes a village.
Mm-hmm.
And my heart goes out to the single moms out there. Oh my God. Oof.
It ain't easy. It ain't easy.
Oh.
I had a conversation with a friend of mine earlier on in this when I started the podcast, and we talked about being a single mother and juggling your career, and she had bought a house, and she used to live in Massachusetts, moved to a different location, then move again, then had to move again. Now she's settled in Texas, and we talked about that. It was just, I was like,
shout out to her, man.
Definitely, she's a superwoman.
You were superwoman, sis. Because what about me? I'm gonna call my husband. Come get your child. I had enough. Come get your child.
Right, like you have that. Like thank God you have that, and it goes to show too, like the importance of having a partner. Right? It goes to show like the importance of actually nurturing relationships too, because we live in a society now that I would say glorify like disconnect, that emphasize on if that person isn't right for, let me say that again. They're quick to let somebody go, right? And
let's talk about it.
Some of it I understand. Right, some of it I understand, because I don't ever wish a toxic situation on anyone, whether that is family, a relationship, whatever it is. However, sometimes some people can be too ready to cut somebody off that they become standoffish
and not realize that they have it good. Exactly. And not realize that this is the whole relationship segment,
because sometimes you can meet someone, like for example, we kind of didn't really have beef, but technically we had beef back in Haiti, and now like fast forward like years later, like what I'm saying, like we're having a discussion over your journey, like about your journey, right, and we're communicating and all that kind of stuff. Like you're doing your thing, and you're actually highlighting, making a good point about like nurturing relationships with not only your family but like your friends, because you need those things. Yes. Right? And that's another thing that these gurus and influencers out there are not telling you. Like they making it seem like you don't need nothing. You just need that $2,500 to go get that LLC, and then you're gonna make that 6-figure income.
But I'm the type too. I'm a firm believer in I love my friends. I'm the type to cut people off. Don't mind me. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. But the few that I have that are really supportive of me, I want to return the favor. I want to be a friend to them. Like, what kind of friend will I want them to be to me? And I be that to them. Because we all in the new era of I want my best friend to be that. If they're not that, I'm gonna cut them off. But have we realized that too? Sometimes we are not even what we're asking for. Mm-hmm. We're not. You want to support a friend, but are you supporting your friends?
Talk about it. Yep, because that is another thing out there is like people want things out of people that they are not to
willing to themselves. They're not even that anyway. So I'm big on working on yourself and being what you want out of people. Be that to them. Mm-hmm. You want something like I'm the type of, if my friend just texts me, hey, I'm proud of you, that means a lot to me. Mm-hmm. hey, I see you. You don't even have to buy anything from me. Like most of my friends don't need permanent makeup.
Mm-hmm.
But just referring your friend and showing me that you actually care about what I'm doing means a lot to me. So guess what? I sometimes go out of my way to text my friend, hey, what are you up to? What are you working on? How can I support you? Because this is what I want from them.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be mindful of that.
Yeah, I had also another previous episode where I talk about support your friends. And one of those examples was you don't have to always get up and go buy your friend's store.
Yes.
You could literally wake up one day and just be like, hey, do you need help with anything? Like,
ooh, this right there, this one right there. Or do you want to go out for a drink? Sometimes I want my friend to just help me step away from my business.
That's
just
it.
Just be a friend to me.
That's it. Shoot, bring your friend some lunch. If they have an office, bring them some lunch.
Right. Amen. Like, you'll be the greatest friend for the year.
That's it. Like people think
I don't even want you to buy anything from me. Right. Like me personally, I know a lot of people are like, oh, my friends are not supporting my business. I want you to be my friend. Show that you care about what I'm doing. I don't need you to buy anything from me, but show that you care and that you support me. That's enough for me.
Mm-hmm. And that, that's how a lot of things gets, starts, because we start to expect certain things out of people. I'm glad growing up, and even to this point, like I've always learned some way, somehow, to never expect nothing out of people, like from people. That way I'm not disappointed.
Yeah. But let's talk about it. That's not good though.
It's horrible. It's a horrible way to think.
Like you have expectations from your friendships and from your relationships. You deserve a good friend.
Listen, first of all, you're not about to turn this interview around on
me
now, all right?
Let's, another day.
Another day. But
episode where I interview you, because
there is a lot of people out there that feels like that, and there are a lot of people out there that I think nowadays what happens is like this new generation, or the new, I hate saying this new generation because that makes me feel so old, but I am I am a whole generation over this current generation. So they have like high expectations, but they don't really know exactly what they expecting. So they have high general expectations. So it's not specific. Like They might sit there and be like, I need my friend to be supportive.
But what is support to you? They don't even know.
Exactly. They don't understand what that means. They don't understand. Like they think, let's say, a clothing brand. They think if they wake up tomorrow and they make one t-shirt, every single person there knows them. Now remind you, there's a lot of people who call friends, and there are people they haven't talked to in like 3 years, right? But in a regular conversation, they tell you, well, that's, I know this guy or whatever, I know this girl, whatever it is.
Right.
But as soon as they start a business, now all of a sudden, all their friends are not supporting them. You only talk to 2 people on your phone.
Do you even know what they got going on?
And you don't know what they got going on. So now you're talking about why your friends are not supporting you. Meanwhile,
you're not supporting them.
You're not supporting them. Or you're not actually even like in contact with them. You just know them. You see them at the club, or you see them outside or whatever. Now all of a sudden you're like, oh, why my friends are not there for me?
Please.
Well, go find your 2 friends that you actually communicate with daily and start from that. So it's a complex situation, and it will take probably like another whole episode to talk about that particular situation, because there's a lot of confused people out there. And the same thing when it comes to like a supportive partner. A lot of people don't understand what that means. They're quick to cut somebody off. It's like you said, if you're not willing to compromise, because sometimes your husband might not be able to support you in the way that you want him to, but that doesn't mean that he can't support you in a different way.
And sometimes sometimes I have ideas, and I had to learn to be okay with the way that he thinks about them. Sometimes he's not always all excited about my ideas. That doesn't mean he's not supportive. That he sees it from another angle, and as his wife, he wants me to see the bigger picture. And sometimes okay, we've been like, dang, he wasn't even happy about it. No, he just wanted me to see the other side of things.
Right.
And I have to be okay with that sometimes.
Right.
So, right.
Another issue that happens behind the scene that nobody's gonna talk about. I mean, also most of them don't really deal with that kind of stuff. They just, you can't talk about something you don't know, right? You can't talk about dealing with an unsupportive or a supportive partner when you never had a supportive partner. So that happens too sometimes. And compromise is something that.
Well, that you're also married.
Yeah, this part nowadays people don't even understand what compromising means. Like every single thing that you do when you become married is a compromise. You have to keep in mind, like, yeah, I have friends, or yeah, I have a life outside of my marriage, outside of my family, outside of my household, but that doesn't mean I can just wake up tomorrow and just go out and spend 3 days out hanging out with the boys or hanging out with the friends. No, it doesn't work that way. It also doesn't mean that you can just go wake up one day and take $10,000 and go invest it into like Dogecoin or something like that and think like it's about to be lit.
I'm still learning, God. I'm still learning.
And that's,
I had to learn.
That's where the problem comes from. That's what, and like I said, that's what people don't understand. Like,
like, what you mean I can't? It's mine.
Right, like, oh, it's my money, and then all of a sudden, social media knows that their partner doesn't support them.
Right.
It's like, well, I can't support you just getting up and taking $15,000 and give it to this Nigerian prince that emailed you and said,
right.
they're gonna give you $150 million back. What are you talking about?
Right.
So I'm glad to see that you've had that, to hear that you've had such a great support system, and even how you manage your schedule, your work-life balance. I think that's a really, really good example that you're setting out there, not only for people that follow you, but your son, right? And I don't know if you're expecting to have any other kids or any more kids. I'm wishing twins on you. Okay, next time. So I think
end the call. End the call. End the call.
I think the business would like to see a set of twins every single.
It was great talking to you. Thanks for having me.
But so if you had to list three things that you learned throughout this journey of yours, and you can also think of it as like, you're talking to a young prospect and they're looking to follow into your footsteps, right? If you had to tell them three things that you learned to help them get started, what would those three things be?
Okay, two things.
Take your time. I know that one. That's because you and a lot of the stuff you said, like, I can definitely think of three things already.
Right.
But specifically, if you had to go back and think of three things,
right,
what would those be?
I think one thing that I'm learning now, and one thing that my mentor told me, is that success loves speed. And a lot of times success loves speed, meaning it can mean different things to different people. But I feel like a lot of times we spend so much time on planning and strategizing, but I feel like you can perfect it later. It's okay, just like hint, launch the podcast. You'll perfect it. Like, do the thing that you want to do, because in doing the things, the faster you do it, the more you learn, the more you can re-strategize and get to your success, whatever that means to you. But the longer you wait on doing whatever you need to do, the longer that success takes to get to you. So that's something that I'm learning. Listen, even I sometimes suffer from that.
Yeah.
I want to launch an online course. I'm spending years in strategizing how I want it to look, how fancy I want it to look, the aesthetic of it, when I have people who are waiting to take the course. So that's one. Two, get your finances in order. Like I said,
and that one is a solid one. That was a
get
solid
your,
one.
your
And
personal credit.
I do want to also point out when it comes to finances, and even not just for your business. I think social
Your
media
life.
nowadays have a lot of people talk about, not needing much, not needing any money, not doing, you don't need credit, you don't need this, and then oftentimes people get those things mixed up.
Right.
But please get your finances in order.
Start with what you
Track
have.
it.
Start with what you have, but track your progress. I'm falling short from that now. And if I started from the beginning, I wouldn't have to get my numbers in order now. And it's, your accountant looking at you, what the fuck, like, let me not, but like, what is this?
And if you can't figure it out yourself, find someone, ask somebody for help. And again, for the friends that want to support or who don't understand how to support, this could be something that you bring to the table or even help out with.
Because I would love for one of my friends, hint, anybody out there.
friend of the year, friend of the decade.
Books together.
Yeah, it could easily become friend of the decade right there.
Listen, so that too, business credit is important in business because why spend your money if you can acquire the people's money?
Right.
With what you need to do. So that's a big one. What else? Push through. It's not cliche. It's like, but push through. Push through.
So number one, just get it done. Number two, get your finances in order. Get your finances in order and get your business credit.
Right.
Right. And number three, just push through.
Right. It's gonna be
that. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard.
It's not easy. Business is not easy at all. I really underestimated how I really did. I really did.
Yeah. And at the risk of this taking even a dark turn, like there are people who legit take their own lives over these type of things. Because the stress, level of stress that you have to deal with, can easily become unbearable. And
that's when, again, you have to learn how to separate your business self. Because it's crazy.
Yep. Because, and this is why a lot of people, I would give some of those gurus props. They talk about what is your why. You do have to remember, and you do have to remind yourself oftentimes, like, what is your why? And why? What is this? Who is this for? What are you really doing this for? And when you get stuck sometimes, when you feel like, to your point, like when you feel like you can't push through, remember who you're doing this for. Who can benefit out of it? You know, who's your number one supporter? Who's your number one fan? And also,
how did you imagine your life looking like if it
exactly? And this is why it's important to have people that are supportive. People will have your back, because this is why business just can't. Business don't work with just like a lone ranger just walking around like waiting and just diving into issues head first. It just doesn't work that way. I don't care what your story is. You did not make it out there by yourself, just diving head first. You knew somebody, or somebody knew you, or somebody even recognized that you're about to dive head first into a pile of spikes.
And be like, no.
And they're like, you know what? Hey, come here for a second. You dropped something. But you're thinking like that person just like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. And then the whole time they just wanted to give you, redirect you. There you go. They just wanted to redirect you.
Right.
So I think those are pretty fair. Those are really good. And I you also mentioned too that you do courses as well, and we haven't talked about that. Um, how do I become a permanent makeup artist? By the way, I almost became a makeup artist. I kid you not. And the reason why, at one point when I was doing photography, I hated that I had to depend on other people to do makeup.
No
And I had a
way.
lot of people who would come in, or I would start scheduling a photo shoot, and then they're like, "Do you have makeup artists?" I'm like, "What do I look like?" No. Oh, do I need to do my makeup first, or
Duh.
do you wanna look good, or like I
I
can't
ever
do magic. I'm sorry, I can't do magic. I know there's a lot of photographers out there that love making people look like they're straight out of a, I don't know, book or something, but I can't do that. Like, I'm just doing my thing. I want this picture to look as clean and natural as possible. So at one point I was like, I should just go online right now, find out how to do a basic light makeup.
You should look partner with your local artist.
I sort of did that, but I didn't end up needing it too much down the line, because I started working with people who mostly could do their makeup, or would bring somebody with them and do it. But like I said, I had those moments where I was like, why do I keep finding these people that like what? And things get canceled. I'm like, you know what? I should just do it myself, because I have that mentality where it's like I don't like to. Yeah, I don't like to depend on people.
That's the Haitian in us.
Yeah, I don't like to depend on people. I'm quick to go and learn how to do it myself. Like,
Right.
I'm
Because
quick.
one thing I'm gonna get it done. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Listen, I'm recording this right now by myself. I am going to most likely edit it by myself, because the next thing is I'm gonna the other option would have been for me to sit there for another 3 to 6 months trying to figure out how I can get it edited. And like, I can't get help editing if I don't have anything to edit. So I was like, oh well, I'll figure it out.
So how do you become a permanent makeup artist? It really depends on your state and county. I know, for example, you in Boston is very, very hard. But you have to actually go to a proper school. Not very, very hard, but you have to actually go to a proper school and do, I know you have to do weeks of training and actually go and take tests with your counselor. So certain states are harder than others, but New York is very, very easy. All you have to do is get your tattoo license, which is only you learning how to take care of bloodborne and pathogens. Because when you take your license, they don't really test you on artistry, because your artistry is your artistry. So you have to figure out how to get your tattoo license in whatever state you're in, and get training from people. So you have young women like me who are great at their craft, hint, hint. So you learn from them, because yes, you get your tattoo license, but you don't know how to do brown. This is where I come in.
Yeah, you do those courses. You provide those courses. And how would one go about getting one of those courses? And do you require the tattoo license first?
So you can either come in with your tattoo license, or we can work a way where you take your bloodborne and pathogens test, and you can work under me as a apprentice, and you can do models and everything under me. So
this is like if somebody's in Long Island, then not like in Massachusetts, unless you send in the Uber, send that Uber.
Unless you pay for it.
Hey. Unless you might get you a couple customers like, hey, I will pay for your Uber to Long Island.
The trend. Right. Follow your dreams.
There you go. Yep, there you go. Follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams. Follow your dreams to Long Island. Come see me.
Yep. Dive in head first, like you said. Push through. Think
about it later.
Yeah, exactly. Just do it.
That's me. There's a, but I do feel like right now is the best time to get into the permanent makeup industry because they are trying to regulate it. Soon enough, you will need a aesthetic license, which I have, but you will need a cosmetology license or some type of beauty license, which you will have to spend 5 to a year in school to be able to get before even doing permanent makeup.
Oh,
Because
like
right now,
5 months to a year?
5 months full time, a year part time,
Oof.
in your state. So, because right now they are just seeing it as quote unquote tattooing, but now some states are saying no, this is a beauty service. A lot of women are getting it done, and we need to treat it as a beauty a requirement. So I do feel like it's easier to get in the industry right now. So get in now, and you can be grandfathered in when those new rules are in. But yeah, because we love it here.
All right, so get it done now.
Get it done now.
Get it done
soon
now.
Go to cosmetology or aesthetic school.
Yeah, get it done now, because next thing you know, they and we know one thing about the system in America, they will regulate it eventually.
They will, yes.
They will. They don't like to see nobody making money, or they don't.
They see, oh, this is not a regular tattoo. Hold on.
Exactly. Like right now, they're thinking these people are getting their eyebrows tatted.
Basically. So
which is actually not a bad description. Like you technically are getting your eyebrows tatted.
Right. I tattoo faces for a living. I told someone that they were looking at me.
Yeah, they be like, "Oh, what?"
They asked, "What do you do?" I said, "I tattoo faces."
There you go. What's the best reaction you've received after like a complete or a successful procedure?
I think my best one was I had an alopecia patient.
Mm-hmm.
She had no brows, and it was hard for her to grow brow hairs because of her condition. And I don't know, once doing her brows, she was an older lady, and she just teared up, and I cried with her. Listen, she was really wanting something to make me feel better, and that just makes me feel better. So yeah, I'll never forget her.
Wow, yeah. She probably hadn't seen her eyebrows in years.
Yes, years. She's losing her hair, her edges are so it really, really made her feel better. So that's one of my best stories so far.
That's good. And again, back to the I gotta talk to the guys on that one. Again, think about how you feel when you start losing your hair and you keep wearing them hats every day.
Right.
This is why, a lot of women actually go for, makeup sometimes, and they get these things done. And unfortunately for you,
not even that. For the guys, in my industry, there's a service called SMP. You guys don't know that. Yeah, they just go the guy's edges back. It's like a sort of tattooing that they give you the illusion of regular men edges. And yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, I'm already starting to look into these things because it ain't gonna be too long.
Great artists out there. Listen, it's called semi-permanent scalp micropigmentation, and they implant pigment into your scalp, and it makes it look like hair follicles. And it's
not like the one they do. Is it like the one they do in Turkey? Because I think that one is actually permanent. Like they
They do it here too.
Mm-hmm.
They do it here too.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's still in the tattooing too. So yeah, it's part of the semi-permanent makeup industry thing.
Ah, okay.
Right.
Yeah, because I might need some of that.
I got you. I'm gonna send you some people. You might have to, but it's fine. It's cool.
Word.
Right.
Oh man, life is crazy. Life is crazy. You could wake up one day and be all confident, and next thing you know, you're like, why am I losing hair?
It's okay.
It's like, what is this? I haven't been bald since I was like 5 years old. Like, what is this?
Right.
But it's part of life, so I'm not tripping about it.
You are. It's okay.
How did you know?
Okay.
So where do you see yourself and your business, and even like from a personal standpoint too, like in the next, year to next 5 years?
So actually,
What do you want to achieve, or what do you want to have accomplished?
whew, you have all day, but no. I personally, I want to hone down on teaching. Um, I love seeing, especially I have a lot of single mothers that come into my classes. They like, listen, I want to start a service, even as a part-time job, and be able to give me the freedom. I love the freedom. Again, I love the freedom that the beauty industry gives you because you're able to schedule your clients around your life,
Time, yeah.
your time. So I have a lot of single moms. I had nurses in my classes. I had PAs. A lot of people, they want that freedom of time. And I'm just grateful that I have that freedom of time, that I'm able to schedule my own hours. So I really want to perfect my teaching skills.
Say that again.
I want to perfect my teaching skills. I want to become more of a trainer, travel more and teach. Um, I know for a fact that 5 years from now, I don't know if I get bored of things easily, so I don't know if I'll actually want to be doing house. But having other business ventures that I can bring me money and travel more, that's one of my goals. I definitely want to travel more with my family and enjoy life and make some money. That's basically it.
Maybe in 5 years you'll be doing actual tattoos.
No. Absolutely not.
I mean, you're already licensed for it, so you might as well.
I want to do tiny tattoos actually, but that's another subject. The cute tiny tattoos that the girls get?
Yeah.
Those are easy to do, and I've been thinking about it, but anyway.
Maybe something you'll do on the side.
Right. So yeah, I just want to teach more. I would love to have a beauty school in Haiti. That's one of the big dreams of mine. Hopefully the countries allow us to actually go back home and do things.
Yeah, there's a big demand in Haiti right now, for beauty in general, because there's a lot of, especially with access now too, like there's a lot of women out there that's seeing the world and they seeing what other women look like, and back home, like you kind of like secluded from the world, and then anytime you get a little glimpse of what everybody else is doing, you almost start thinking like, oh, if they can do it, I can do it too.
Right. And it's so outdated. We need new schools. We need new, I don't know. So I would love to have a beauty school over there. And I have a lot of girls in my DM like, hey, when are you coming? Like, I want to learn from you. So I'm plotting for it.
I'm guessing this is the one business move that you're like, all right, I gotta slow down on that one. I can't just I can't just dive head first on that one.
That movie.
Yeah.
I would have drowned.
Oh my! Unfortunately, right now Haiti is just not in the right state.
Ready for this? They're not ready for us.
They're not ready for that. And this is one of those things, like amongst many things that we could have out there, but unfortunately, the state of the country right now is just really sad.
Yeah. Prayers for Haiti.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, like I'm just happy to be here.
Speaking of happy, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you?
In life?
Yeah.
Or right now?
We could do in life. We could do right now. We could do whatever.
Oh, in life,
you could do average if you want. Like,
I'd say I give it an 8.
All right.
I give it an 8.
Good.
I give it an 8 because I know my future is so bright that I have to be happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
it's, life is amazing. Life is good. You know what I mean? Like you just say, life is
Yeah.
good.
And
So,
second
and yeah,
second question is, if you had to go back in time, knowing what you know now, would you make the same decisions all over again?
yes, I would have started way earlier.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes, absolutely.
And
What about you? Scale 1 to 10. How happy are you?
honestly,
Don't be
now these days, I'm actually at a solid 9.
what?
I'm
You better than me.
I ain't gonna lie. These days, listen, I've done some serious inner work lately, and I've
Good
been
for
doing them
you.
for a little while. Like,
I see
it's
them.
mhm.
I see you working out. That's a goal of mine.
Once
Yeah.
or twice a month.
You know.
I go and just take the pictures and videos, and then
And
I
you come
work
out. Okay,
out.
cool. Gotcha.
I
Gotcha.
make it
Gotcha.
look like I'm working out.
Yeah, that's a big goal of mine. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it might be a little tough to achieve 10 out of 10 happiness, but
Right.
I think I'm at a solid 9.
What makes it a 9 generally?
I'm content, with what I have. Not settling, of course. I feel loved. I'm at peace.
Very
I
good.
have no problems with nobody. Yeah.
Not I have no problem with nobody.
And I feel like the other major part too is like everything that I want to do, I've either done it or I'm doing it.
Working towards it. Yes.
Right. So, for that, I feel like, there's not much that, there's
You
not
can
much
do
to
that
not
with
to be
you.
unhappy with,
Right.
you know?
Oh, good. I'm happy my friend is happy.
Thank you. Now, there's of course things that like I feel like, okay, that might be like, out of 1 right now, but if like overall right now my level of happiness just on the surface, like I'm at a 9.
On that note.
Yeah, so
Right.
and I think I had a final question for you. All right, well,
So happy you forgot.
it slipped away.
Right.
Well, thank you for doing this. Thank you for sharing your story and your very inspiring story.
Thank you.
I'll be sure to check out your website and enroll in one of your courses, okay, if you'll have me. I think I've been saying that for a while now. I'm like,
Listen, we had beef since Haiti. We don't. This is all. We're cool now on the phone call, but
it ain't like that.
it ain't like that. So like.
But yeah, and so I think did I ask you how do we get in touch with you?
So you guys can follow my famous I'm joking. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Chardlie Chardlie Beauty. Chardlie Beauty. I post all my work on there. My website, chardliebeauty.com. And yes, hit me up, DM me, whatever questions you guys have about getting into the industry or whatever questions you guys have. But yeah, I'm here to serve.
Word. Get your courses in. Enroll in some classes.
Right. And get your life.
Contrary to what a lot of people believe out there, I don't think this is the just hop on YouTube and learn it. I don't think you can.
No, this one, not this one.
Not that one. Don't be out there like, why would I pay for a course? Like when I
be me.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
No, you have to properly learn the skill. This is a skill. It requires a lot of patience, a lot of. It's a lot of fine work, but you guys can do it.
All right. Once again, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
We'll definitely do another episode because this is not a one stop and just done. So I'll be checking in again and see how you're doing and if your level of happiness is higher or lower.
Hopefully, I'm on a 9.
Exactly. Let's aim for even 850. Or 9 or 950.
I'm trying to be like you.
Hey, it's doable. It's doable. So thank you
Yeah.
again. All right.
You're welcome.
Until next time. And
Bye.
have a good week, great weekend,
You
and enjoy
too.
yourself, and make
Bye,
happiness your priority.
guys.
All right, bye.